Ubuntu on your virtual machine. That's the first prerequisite which you need to make. Now let us open the terminal here. And we are going to update the following. We're going to update our Ubuntu. Okay, so let us increase the size. All right, now there we go. The first thing which I want to do is sudo update. Okay, you put your password. You need to update your operating system Ubuntu. Wait for some time because it's supposed to, it has to run or to load all these things. Meanwhile, you have to okay, it shows that everything is okay. It's updated. Sometimes even if you want, you may say sudo update upgrade. So you can do either, you can do any of these. Okay, that's no problem. After install this one, the second part which you need to do, you have to install your Java. Okay, so you may check Java version. See, none is installed. So you need to install the first one, sudo apt install Java, which used to be the latest. So what we do, you see, say sudo update install default JDK space default Java runtime and environment, and then you confirm. So once this is done, why do we need to install Java? Because Big Data Hadoop is built on the top of Java. Java was a native language, so we need to have, JDK, Java Development Kit, and Java Runtime environment. Once this is done, then we go next part. Now we start our proper installation of Hadoop on Ubuntu. Now it is done. Erase Java version is there. Java C version, it is there. So we have the latest version. Right. The next part which we're going to do here, we're going to create a user. So you have to create a user in this way, sudo add the user Hadoop. We need to have the new user, so you can give the password. You give a new password. So this you make them as they are. Yes, you are done. Okay. After you create the new user, the next part is sudo user mode. You change the mode of the user by the following. Okay. And you have to change the group. You have to give a new user to the group as a Hadoop. Okay, done. After that, you change to new user. Okay. Okay. So it says I made a mistake there. Okay. Now, as you can see here, we change to Hadoop user. After we change to Hadoop user, the next part which we have to do here, we have to install something called OpenSS. What are we gonna do? Install OpenSSH server. This will help you to run your Ubuntu. So what we do is apt install OpenSSH server. open SSH client. Yes. All right. Something is wrong there. It says unable to inquire DPK from this front end. Okay. So what happened? Why is it showing this error? Why is it showing this error? It says could not open lock variable DPK, permission is denied. So when the permission is denied, let me open it here. One more, you may do, okay, sorry, may do sudo. So down here, I'm going to add Hadoop on the super user do, Hadoop. And this is the super user do. You have to give him the full permission. All right, so you have to give him the full permission. All right, so you save this. So we come back here. Again, it says acquire DPK front lib permission denied. So okay, if it does that one, then you have to do the following. You have to give sudo, and then you give the password. If it does not respond, you have to give the password in that way. All right, so once it's done, now we have to, again, we have to prompt it, to use again to the new user, right? Again, we have to do the following. We have to do sudo su Hadoop just to confirm that we are there. Next, we are going to add private key and public keys. SSH, gen, RSA. So we have to add this one here. You press enter, you press enter, or you put enter. Now you generate this key for securing your server, which is the one which you created above there, SSH. All right. So the next part here, we need to take the following key here. There's a key which we need to take here. We need to take the following key here. We can take this following key here. And we need to install them there. Okay. All right. So once we install this here, the next part here, you can also give permission to that key which you generated. Give permission to the key which you generated. And after this one, you have to check SS localhost. You check fingerprint. Yes. All right. So Ubuntu with absolute warranty, it shows you that we are now connected to SSH. All right. Again, let us switch on sudo su Hadoop. We switch again to our Hadoop. So this is the next part here, which requires you to download the Ubuntu from the latest one. So you can download Ubuntu by taking the latest version here. You can come here. You can come here and check download Hadoop, right? So you can click here, come here, just check the latest version, okay? Here, you download here to give you different version. You click here and you look, this is the latest one. You see the versions here. You click on this folder and you come to this, you write the following. Write the following here. We get, and you need to drag, look at the big file here. Do you see this big file here? This big file. This carries it. So we need it to bring it there. Sorry, somewhere there's a gap. Okay. All right, let me bring it once again. We get, and since I selected, that's why it was mentioning like that. And then you wait for some time to download the latest Hadoop. Remember, we are going to use Hadoop 3.6. It's a big file. As you can see, it's 200 something, 600, almost 700 MB. So of course, it may take some time, but let us wait and see. Sometimes the request is denied, but no problem. You can try again and see. As you can see, it started. So my speed is quite okay. So you have to be patient and wait till it is done. You see, this is a file which you are downloading. This is the one. So once we're done to do that one, you're going to do the following part, which is going to be quite tricky. So you need to be very vigilant when you're installing this. Okay, as it's still downloading, meanwhile, as you can see, all these are the versions as I mentioned. So we took this one, which is quite easy. Now you have to, ls, you find it, it is here downloaded. You are going to unzip it. You're going to use tar, just put me tar. We do the following. We do the following in unzipping the file which we have downloaded. X VZW Hadoop. You untar it. You have to untar it. So it's unzipping the entire file so that we can have the one folder which contain all the files which are needed for Hadoop, such as HDFS, MapReduce, YAL, everything. Now, if again we stay here, we find unzipped file is this. Okay, so the next part here, we are going to move the file. We are going to move this Hadoop file into a file called user local Hadoop. We move it there, even renamed, we give it that name. Okay. Once we're done, we create one more file, sudo mkdir, and user local Hadoop as a log. We call it a log so that we can keep all the file there, like a log file for Hadoop, which you may have there. So we do sudo change of owner recursive Hadoop user local Hadoop. So we change the ownership of this, right? Cool. Now, after this, we need to check what Java file do we have, okay? We need to check what kind of Java file is installed there. So you can do the following, can do the name, and you find, the rename, directory name of the following, read the link, also read it, where Java is installed. Okay, so this is where the Java is being installed. Now we are going to update the following file or the following folder, by saying sudo. Remember, we take this, okay? We take the following. Let me try to copy this somewhere so that I can be able to use it, right? So we say sudo nano bash resource. So at the last down here, at the down here, there are a big file which you're going to add. Okay, so you're going to add a big file to this one. That big file which you're going to add is this as follow. You're going to add the following file. You're going to add the following file on your Hadoop, right? On your Hadoop. So I need to make sure that the file which I gave you is correct. Okay, the file which I gave you is correct. Since the time is almost, we're gonna have like a 20-minute. I'm gonna break this so that you can be able to follow the next part in another few minutes. So you can take part by part so you can understand it in a better way.